In this video, I will be giving you my reasons why Doom 2 is better than Doom Eternal. Now, this is a video topic that has been requested multiple times by multiple different people, and well, since there's not much I'm interested in talking about these days, I figured now is finally the time. So sit back and relax and let me tell you how my opinion is better than all of yours. All jokes aside, let me preface this video with one thing. If you prefer Doom Eternal or any other video game over Doom 2, that is perfectly fine. Obviously, if you enjoy a video game, more power to you. I mean shit. For a while, Doom Eternal used to be my favorite FPS game of all time. Until I properly played Doom 2, meaning without Brutal Doom and without a Z-Doom port, which then became my favorite video game of all time period. So yeah, at the very least, I hope this video can at least convince you to give classic Doom a proper college try. Okay, so before I start doing very YouTube inappropriate things about Doom 2, let me quickly give credit to Doom Eternal where it's due. Disregarding the obvious shit like graphics, Doom Eternal's gameplay is a lot more advanced and finely crafted than Doom 2's, specifically the base single player campaign. Doom 2's campaign is fine for the most part. It has some good maps and it also has some stinkers, but honestly, it's hard for me to point out a single Doom Eternal level that I genuinely dislike. Well, apart from the Bionicle Man boss fight. Other than Traffic Light Man 2.0, every level in Doom Eternal is pretty awesome. They all look distinctly different and have some interesting combat encounters. The gameplay loop itself is a lot more engaging, with you having to do more, like frequently manage your ammo by chainsawing trash, as well as using enemies themselves to provide you with health and armor. There are traditional pickups in the arena which do give you a pretty big boost, but they won't always be enough to carry you through an entire encounter. Though most of the time they will, but I digress. Now, admittedly, the story and multiplayer of Doom Eternal are quite fucking shit, but let's face it, most people play Doom exclusively for the single player gameplay, so not many people really care. So with that said, you might be wondering, okay then, if Doom Eternal excels Doom 2 in what people play Doom the most for, doesn't that mean it's just objectively better? Well, here's the kicker. What is the other thing Doom is known for? That's right, it's custom content. And this is where the whole argument becomes entirely one-sided. Now yes, if you wanna remove mods from the equation and just look at the base game and take that as Doom Eternal being better, you absolutely can. However, I'm not going to, because by shutting yourself away from custom mods, you're missing out on a lot. And I mean a lot. Now, a lot of people instantly get scared by the inclusion of mods because they think modding classic Doom is hard. Fun fact, it's actually not. And considering you're using a source port to play it in the first place, instead of that dogshit Unity port on Steam, you are already 99% of the way there. All you have to do now is download the custom mod, select the right compatibility in your source port, unless playing on a Z-Doom port, in which case you're kinda out of luck, and launch the game by also running your custom mod alongside the base game. Similar story when you're running a mod that requires Z-Doom, except you would use a Z-Doom port. Yeah. Give it up for Z-Doom for being the sole reason you cannot just use one port for everything, because fuck all other compatibilities, am I right? But yeah, in short, set compatibility, load custom mod, and profit. It gets especially easier if you find yourself a launcher such as this very basic one, which the creator of even says it's not good, despite it being perfectly functional. And in terms of compatibility, the way you find out which one you need is by checking the page where you found the mod. If it's not listed, just pick the highest one. If it still doesn't work, play with Z-Doom. Now, what can you change about Doom 2? You see, that's the neat part. Everything. Everything you see on screen can be entirely changed. Title screen, menu icons, weapon stats, enemy stats, music, map geometry, textures, sounds, intermission text, intermission screens. If you think of it, you can likely change it. While Doom Eternal also has some modding, you are not able to do much rather than remix levels, change skins and alter some enemy behavior, for the most part at least. There's more you can do, but it's still nothing compared to Doom 2. All this culminates in being able to make things in Doom 2 which you never thought was possible. MyHouse.wad is probably the most well-known example, but what if I told you it's not even the tip of the iceberg? You can create architecture that can rival even that of modern games, as well as create amazing atmospheres with combinations of different skyboxes, textures and midis. Speaking of midis, many people associate Doom with heavy metal music, but honestly, even something like a calmer melody can go a long way in creating an amazing feel for the map. in such a way that you will never stop being amazed by the maps you'll see. Now that's cool and all, but you're probably wondering, what about the gameplay? Okay, so you might know, when you die in Classic Doom, you restart the map with only a pistol. This means every map must be made to accommodate starting it with only a pistol, and because of that, purposefully playing these maps from a pistol start can open up a whole new experience of the map. Fights that were trivial before are now a lot more engaging when health and ammo are scarce, and this also allows map makers to challenge you in unique and different ways. Sometimes you won't have all weapons available, forcing you to deal with an encounter in a variety of unique and interesting ways. Now yes, Doom Eternal does have a feature similar to this, for like 3 master levels. Though because of the way Doom Eternal is designed, the way you handle fights remains largely the same. Sure, there are some minor differences, but they are nowhere near as drastic as in Doom 2, where health, armor and ammo cannot be restored by pressing a single button, cough cough chainsaw. Additionally, while difficulty in Doom Eternal works on a standard principle of higher difficulties having you take more damage and enemies being more aggressive, yawn, Doom 2 handles difficulty in a different way. Instead of that, minus the lowest and highest difficulty, difficulties in Doom 2 are split into 3 categories, easy, medium and hard, and map makers can tag objects to only appear on certain difficulties, which allows map makers to handle difficulty in unique ways and, more importantly, have complete control of the player experience regardless of difficulty. For the most part, but no one really plays custom mods on I'm Too Young to Die or Nightmare. And funnily enough, if we take custom mods into account, the simplistic nature of Doom 2's design only works to its advantage here. Anyone can whip up a MIDI, anyone can create a couple of new sprites for new monsters or weapons, anyone can draw lines on a map editor, anyone can write a few scripts, and while it does take practice to get those just right, it is infinitely easier than learning how to play a guitar or modeling and animating a 3D model. And because the WARD file contains absolutely all of that, hence the name, where's all the data, not only is the barrier to entry at an all-time low for playing said content, but it is also at an all-time low for creating it as well. All of this creates custom mods that greatly vary in experience. You can have a massive action-packed map with thousands of enemies and a banger metal soundtrack, or you can have a more atmospheric map where fights are a lot smaller in scale, but just as engaging due to being limited in ammo. How about Cyberpunk 2069? And once you start turning up the compatibility levels, it only gets crazier from there, such as a grand boss fight with multiple phases and attack patterns you need to learn. I could probably make an entire video on creating a Doom map, as every step of the process has so much nuance and so much you can do to take it to the next level, that even the best sandbox games often fail in comparison. But for now, I rest my case. I'll leave all the WADs I use for B-roll in the description as always. All of them are really fucking good, and if you like what you see, I'd encourage you to check them out. Even if you're not a fan of the fixed vertical view or any other part of the game, you can absolutely find a WAD that is built without that limitation or changes any other feature you may not like, such as slow weapon switching. Not to mention, everything I talked about also applies to multiplayer too, and Doom 2 Deathmatch is simply better than any other Doom multiplayer by default. And with this added as a cherry on top, yeah, good fucking luck beating it. Just a shame that not many people are interested in it. Either way, that's where I'm gonna leave it off. So I guess the moral of the story here is, Doom 2 is better and Doom Eternal is bad. All jokes aside though, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Now go play Doom 2, it's better. Oh, and also be sure to like and subscribe to boost me the algorithm. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.